Hey, welcome to the short lesson 5 second video where we're going to talk about a shortcut for adding real numbers that doesn't require for you to use algebra tiles or consider the number line. Every once in a while, you're still going to be asked to go back and consider the number line when adding real numbers, just to make sure you are continually going back and tapping into your understanding of what's actually happening when real numbers are added. However, I'm going to show you a shortcut way that you can use that's going to be especially helpful for you when adding positive and negative numbers. Now, here's the thing. It's really easy to add numbers when numbers are both positive. And you're going to find that it's actually really easy to add numbers when numbers are both negative. But when you have a positive and a negative being added together, it is deceptively hard. It looks like it's going to be an easy problem because you're just adding, right? Well, sometimes it's not as easy as it looks like it should be. Okay, so the easy thing to do is to add numbers that have the same sign. Here's what you do. We're going to use absolute value. Okay, so here's what we do. Find the absolute value of both numbers. That's really easy if both numbers are positive, because this is the kind of addition that you've been doing for years and years. If both numbers are negative, you just change both numbers to positive. That's what the absolute value essentially does. By finding the distance between that number and 0, you're essentially just changing the number to positive. So adding two negative numbers is pretty much just as easy as adding two positive numbers. The other thing is when you add two negative numbers, you have to remember the final step. The sum will have the same sign as the numbers you added together. So if you add two negative numbers together, you're just going to find the absolute value, do the addition problem, and then slap a negative on the front at the end because it's a negative value. Negative 2 plus negative 8. Well, I have to change them to their absolute value, so it's going to be 2 plus 8, that's 10. And then I'm going to slap that negative sign on the front. Negative 2 plus negative 8 is negative 10. Easy, okay? 2 plus 8 is even easier because I just do 2 plus 8 is 10, and then they're both positive, so I just leave the sign positive. All right, what about if I have different signs? This is where things get a little complicated, but not really. So what we do if we have different signs, one number is positive, the other is negative, I find the difference between the two values. This would be negative 2 plus 8. All right, negative 2 plus 8, I'm going to find the absolute value of both of them once again. So it's going to be 2 and 8. And I'm going to find the difference. What's 2 minus 8? 2 minus 8 is negative 6. Okay, I could have also done 8 minus 2. 8 minus 2 is 6. Now, let's see. I need to find the difference of their absolute values. The sum of those two numbers that I'm initially adding together is going to have the sign of the addend with the greater absolute value. So when I found the difference of their absolute values, again, if I did 2 minus 8, I got negative 6. But remember, my original problem was negative 2 plus 8. Which one of those has the greater absolute value, negative 2 or 8? Why, that's an easy thing to figure out, 8. And 8 is positive, so my final sum has to have the sign of the number with the greater absolute value. My final sum has to have the sign positive. So even if I got negative 6 as my answer, I have to change the sign to positive because 8 was the number that was bigger and it was positive. So my answer is going to be positive 6 when I add negative 2 plus 8. All right, now it's going to be a lot easier when you see numbers on the screen, actually. So we're going to do some practice problems and see how these all play out with actual practice problems.